Welcome to CEOs Solve the Darndest Things, a video and podcast series of interviews with CEOs, hosted by the partners of the Resolve firm.
Hello, and welcome to CEOs Solve the Darndest Things. I'm Dr. Terry Dockery, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Resolve firm, where we help small business owners and CEOs resolve business conundrums so they can have more fun, make more money, and do more good. Our guest today is Charles Weems, who is the CEO of Weems Design Studio and a current member of our High Performance CEO Roundtable. Welcome, Charles.
Hey, happy to be here, Terry. How you doing?
I am good. I'm glad you got time to be with us today. So tell me a little bit, if you will, about your company. What do you do for whom and where?
Okay. So Weems Design Studio, or WDS for short, we're a software engineering firm offering consulting services for design, architecture, and implementation of software. We see ourselves as the IT modernization specialist, where we specialize in taking old tech, old business solutions, figuring out a design for a new process or a new technical solution, and also implementing it. We've been working in the government sector for about 14 years and been pretty successful at helping the government to take advantage of new technologies that come out in the market to better serve people at large.
Well, and so now you have a national footprint, is that correct?
Yes, so we provide services for the federal government on a national level. We work with non-DoD agencies, so the civilian agencies, U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, USDA, CDC, NPS, agencies like that.
Right, so non-Department of Defense agencies is what you're saying there. For those of us who don't live with the government acronyms every day, right?
Right.
Okay. So tell me then, how did you become an entrepreneur, and how did you wind up in this industry versus some other one?
So I'll start with the latter part first. I've been programming since I was about 12 or 13 years old. I started out in IT, of course, like many software engineers or people in computer science, through video games. So I was a big video game head growing up, and I always knew I wanted to do some kind of programming, whether it was with games or with websites. At the time, Flash animation was hot, so I picked up a Flash Bible that was a pretty thick book and went through the whole thing, and I started designing websites for just everybody. Anybody that needed a site, I was the guy. And so it kind of started from there. So taking the business acumen that I learned around that and kind of fine-tuning it over the years. And that's how I got into entrepreneurship. I started WDS in 2006. And from there, started with myself, and we've grown to have a staff of over 50 people now.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, so what parts of your job do you like the best?
I am a people person. I love talking. I love meeting new people. I love that part of the job that allows me to go out and do a lot of networking. It allows me to participate in community activities as well as the head and the brand of WDS, if you will. So I really get a joy of going to new places, making new friends, making new business associates, and just putting the word out about what WDS does and the services that we offer and how we can help other people as well. So I really love the people aspect of the business.
Well, I think you must be a rare breed, a guy that likes programming and he likes people.
Yes, that is very rare.
Well, I don't know anybody who likes every single aspect of their role. What are the parts of your role these days that you like the least?
I'm not able to program as much. So I really love getting my hands dirty. I really love taking a look at new technology and trying to figure out a way that we can implement it internally. a lot of times that doesn't require my hands to touch the code as much as I would like to. And so I really miss a lot of that aspect of taking new technologies, getting a new book or sitting at my computer for hours on end and figuring out how to, work with a new tech and how we can implement it. So I really miss that aspect of the business. I don't get a chance to do a lot of tinkering these days.
Well, on our show, we usually ask our CEOs to talk about a couple of business challenges or conundrums that they've wrestled with along the way. And one of the things that, as we've talked before in the roundtable, I know you're making a pivot from doing all government work to doing more commercial work in your portfolio of clients. Would you mind talking a little bit about what that's been like?
Sure. I think it's a problem that a lot of entrepreneurs may have, maybe not necessarily of going from government to commercial or vice versa, but I look at it as a way to expand our customer base. And so one of the things that I've learned in doing government contracting and just having all of our, or majority, like more than 90% of our work to come from government contracting, all of our eggs are in one basket. And so you really don't see the effects of something like that. I mean, some people will say, well, hey, you got the government as a client, they pay pretty well. They pay on time. It's not a long net term period. But the issue comes in when we have a government shutdown or sequestration or whatever the case may be. And so it's like you have this work and it's guaranteed work, but there are instances where it can be a problem by having all of your eggs in one basket. And so one of the things that we've been focusing on from the end of 2018 to about now is figuring out how can we take a lot of the strategies and lesson learned and technology expertise that we have, how can we offer it to commercial clients as well? A lot of the issues that we've had or issues that we've solved for the government side, for me, was a shocker that a lot of big business or commercial businesses have the same problem where they have old technologies working to service their business and to service clients. And then the shift to newer technologies that can help diminish either time or cost is like an act of Congress. And so a lot of times larger businesses will look to outside vendors to help kind of fill that gap of bridging the move from old technology to new technology. So one reason for us is one, so all of our eggs aren't in one basket, we're diversifying our client base. And then the other is we really feel like we have a strong niche that we can service commercial clients in the same way that we've served government as well.
Right. Okay. Well, that does sound interesting as a strategic pivot. That makes a lot of sense. We were also talking earlier about a conundrum or thing that you've wrestled with on your way to where you are, of the importance of business guidance for you in your entrepreneurial journey. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. I've had a lot of guidance. It first requires you to be honest with yourself. And I think that's probably the biggest hurdle that I wish I would have tackled sooner than later. I try to be everything to everybody, and some things I did well, some things I did not do so well, but I wasn't real with myself to say that, okay, I either need to get more educated in this area or I need to identify someone that can help me get over this hump. And so one of the things that I've learned over the life of WDS is really looking for and listening to guidance from other entrepreneurs that are more seasoned than I am. I've been privileged to have some really good mentors to look out for me, to give me advice, whether I wanted to hear it or not. I've had some struggles with some mentors as well, but for the most part, the mentors that I lean on even today have told me about different aspects of their business, their situations, what they did well, what they didn't do so well, how I can fix certain areas. I mean, even, you know, being a part of your roundtable, Terry, has been very instrumental in my growth as an entrepreneur. Having that aspect of where I can be free to ask questions and get feedback from yourself and from the other entrepreneurs that are represented at the roundtable. So having the council, I think, is very important for an entrepreneur, not having just yes people around you, but people that can articulate their point of view objectively and being able to receive that information and make a decision. The other area that, you know, I made a change is I went and got more educated. So there have been a few programs that, you know, I've been a part of that I really enjoyed. Tim Fulton here in Atlanta, Grow Smart is one program. The Tuck School of Business, the minority entrepreneurship program they have there. The Georgia Mentor Connection program here in Atlanta. All of those have paid off greatly and allow me to be a more wise entrepreneur in my decisions. Talking from accounting to business development to capital management, you know, that was a struggle for me to really understand the management of finances. And so I think that's a big area that can really, you know, push entrepreneurs to the next level. But, you know, it all starts internally. You got to listen, and you got to know your strengths, and you got to know your weaknesses, and be honest with yourself.
There you go. There you go. That's right. Well, as we say, you don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
And so you need folks around you that'll tell you what you don't know, right? So,
that's right.
That's
right.
Well, you know, we do a lot of strategic planning in our group and in our work. As you look down the pike, when you're looking at trends that might shape your business future, what are you seeing that you're paying attention to these days?
So I've been really excited about the more progressive interfaces into technology, meaning voice being one, augmented reality, virtual reality. I think right now we're on the early part of implementing these types of technologies into our everyday use as it regard to business solutions as well as data. You're seeing a lot more of these technologies implemented in situations where we're trying to visualize data. So I think that as time goes along and the technology cost to have some of these technologies in our homes and different things like that, I think we'll start to see more interaction with augmented reality, more interaction with VR. I mean, take Alexa for an instance. We're actually working on an app in regards to the law, working with attorneys. And one of the interfaces that we have, although we have a web-based application and a mobile app, we're looking at implementing an Alexa skill that works along with the business application as well. So as opposed to a lawyer being at their desk, you know, typing away or searching for information or trying to get invoices out, they could just say, "Hey, Alexa, launch such and such. Can you send an invoice to this client? Can you tell me how many hours I've billed? I would like to add a new client. Here's their information." So I think we'll start seeing more interaction. We'll start to get a little bit away from the keyboard. And so we've been putting a lot of R&D into those types of technologies. Alexa, working with like a HoloLens with Microsoft. We were looking at Epson. They had glasses as well to help with augmented reality, excuse me. And so I'm really excited about that stuff. You know, I'm back in my engineering hat, but again, I don't get to touch it as much. So
yeah, I hear you. Well, that doesn't sound exciting, and I'm looking forward to those days myself. If I could spend less time on the keyboard, I'd be delighted. So I've been fascinated by the digital revolution, and I want to see it continue. Well, you know, those are the questions that we usually ask. Do you have any final thoughts or closing comments that you wanted to touch on before we end our time together?
Yeah, the biggest thing, again, I just want to emphasize to entrepreneurs is it's okay to not know. right? It's okay to be in an area that you don't feel comfortable with. The problem is if you stay there. And so I would, encourage entrepreneurs to reach out to Doc. The roundtable that we have has been very beneficial for my growth, and you're around other CEOs as well that can give you, expertise and give you, have you thought about this idea? Or you probably don't want to do that because this will happen. So the thoughts around mentorship and the thoughts around counsel, I can't push that enough. That's really helped me in my development, and I would encourage any entrepreneur to seek out that counsel.
Well, that's good advice for all of us, right? Because we all have blind spots, and we had one guy in the round table. He said, I hate it when people ask me what my blind spots are, because if I knew what they were, then they wouldn't be blind spots.
Blind spots. That's right.
Well, listen, I sure appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. And of course, we wish you the very best in all your future endeavors. And I will look forward to seeing you soon in another meeting.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a good day. I appreciate you as always.
All right. You take care. Bye now.
Too.